Hello everybody, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are. Dan Palumbo here again. Well, we have a new approach at Teterboro. Yep, finally something to runway 1. This is an RNAV GPS to runway 1. Kind of looks a little like the ILSA Runway 6, circle to 1. But in this case we have a RNAV approach we can do, a GPS approach. The minimums, 760 feet. Category D is a 3-mile visibility requirement. And again, it's LNAV only, so you need to be stepping that down. But today, we're going to do this in the simulator, and we're going to try it with LNAV and VNAV and see how it works out. This is just out of curiosity. So pull out the chart and come along for a ride. All right, let's try the RNAV GPS to runway 1 at Teterboro. There's the approach plate. We're going to enter it into the FMS. Here's the FMS here, runway 1 from Aldita. And we go to the flight plan. See, we got Aldita, we got Wawa. That's appropriate for Wawa, the food store. Vings, Lessie, Dandy, Mullen, Urban, Saquon, Halsey, and then to the runway. So we're going to do this as an LNAV, and I'm also going to use VNAV. Let's see what happens. Back to the flight plan here. We're happy. Approaching Aldea. It'll do a smart turn here in a moment. We're holding 3,000 feet. So I'm going to dial the dirt. It's a little premature, I understand. I'm going to press VNAV. And that should give me a top of descent somewhere around here. There it is. 3,000. We're in the smart turn, and let's see how this works. Do flaps 10. Here we go. Flap selected 10. Auto speeds will show 180. And it does. Of course, this is all in the simulator in the Teterboro. There's the inside view. Top of descent coming right after Mawa, or Wawa, whatever it's called. Got field elevation, or the dirt. We just put 0 in here. VNAV is selected. Our first altitude is 3,000. Now we're going to go down to 2,000. Let's see how that works. 2,000 is what it says at Vings. 2,000 is here. We're on our way to Vings. Let's take a look outside. This is all going to be done by the automation. I'm not going to touch anything except for flaps and gear. Let's see how this works. There's Vings and the VNAV track change. That's the 1-minute warning. Making that turn over Vings. Next altitude we want to be above 1,700. Let's see what it shows us. Vings, let's see where we're at. There it is, 1,700. We need to be above 1,700. In this case, we'll be right at 1,700 at Lessie. At least that's what it says here. VNAV track, that's great. On our way down. Let's go back outside. 20 degrees of flaps coming in. Flap selected 20. Auto speeds will show 160. Airport is straight ahead of us. Got a little bit of a wind from the left. 270 at 10 knots. Coming up on Lessie at 1,700. And the next altitude that we want is 1300 at Dandy. Let's see how that works. There's Leslie. We see 1300. And we're on our way down. So 1300 for Dandy. 1300 at Mullen over here. Let's go back outside. All right, gear down before landing checklist. Gears down, 3 green nuts. Left and right nutcracker looks good. All spoilers are armed. Full flaps. Checklist complete. We're coming up on Dandy. Let's see what happens after that. Dandy, there's a slight little turn. Okay. Still holding 1300. Now, normally we want to be just to the right of Giant Stadium. And that looks like where we're going. Of course, where the nose points depends on where the wind is. So our next altitude at Urban is going to be 960, but it's going to be 1,300 feet until we get to Mullen. All right, FMS 1 and 2 approach lights are showing up. 1,300 feet is where we want to be, which is where we are. We are fully configured. So far, looks good. See inside. 1,300 feet at Mullen. We want to go to 960 feet at Urban. Let's see that change. Still on a straight path. All right, there we are. 960 on our way down. Let's see if it dives us, and it does a little bit. There's the stadium. We're looking at what? This is about 1,100 foot, 1,200 foot. Now it's starting to level off a little bit. I'd be making a turn here, but let's see what the FMS does. Yeah, I would have had it off the autopilot already. Here it's making its turn. Let's see how it does. No, not bad. Not bad at all.
500.
Look at that. Yeah, just slightly off. Right on glide path. That's good. So at this point, obviously, we're at the minimums. We take it off the autopilot, and we'll hand fly it down to the runway. Pretty good job for Ref plus 10. Auto throttles are gone. Reducing power a little bit.
100.
Bringing power to idle. A little bit of wind from the
50,
left.
40, 30, 20, 10.
And right down we go. There she is. Up on the reversers. We'll try to keep it on the center line. Get on the brakes. Okay. That seems to work. At least under VFR in a simulator. We're happy.